Hey, yo, this is your girl, Melanin Audacity, and thank you for tuning in to the Master Elements Podcast.
Smash the elements. 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 Smash the elements.
Master Elements Podcast is part 3 of Ep.6. I'm here with my co-host, DJ RPB, and Sincere Love the God. Fellas, what's going on?
Peace.
How you doing?
Peace.
Yep, we're continuing our conversation, moving along to some other topics that are hot this week. And I think, Sin, it's your turn to set it off tonight.
I was gonna give it to RP. I wanted RP to bring his joint to the table.
Okay.
Oh man, y'all hit me again, man. Yo.
That's right.
Don't forget, we gotta watch the clock.
Okay, that's your job.
All right, let's go.
All right. We're gonna touch on this whole Nick Cannon situation. Let's go in. You know, Nick Cannon on his Cannon show on YouTube, his talk show. He had Professor Griff, which was the guest, and they had a discussion about, you know, Black Hebrews and our history. You know, and basically Nick Cannon outlined that we are the original people, and he gave Professor Griff, you know, his understanding, his view historically about our bloodline. And basically after he gave that, you know, historical, you know, insight from his perspective, he lost his deal with Viacom. They canceled his show, which was Wildin' Out, and I think he had another show. Was it a couple of shows he had?
Yeah, got a lot of stuff going on, man.
I think he did People Got Talent or something.
America's
Got Talent.
He used to be the host. He used to be the host of America's Got Talent.
I'm not sure if he's still doing that. Yeah.
Nah, he quit America's Got Talent. I want to say last year, maybe the year before that. They was trying to reprimand him for something that he said in his stand-up, and he didn't want to back down from what it was. I don't remember what the statement was, but whatever he said in the stand-up, he didn't want to back down from that. So he ended up walking away from millions of dollars, and then he went and started another show with the Fox Network, which is the Masked Singer. The Masked Singer, which I think that's their most successful show on the Fox Network now.
Yeah, that's a huge show.
Yeah.
Huge show. And basically...
He's a boss, man.
Yeah, he is.
Boss, man.
He's been there. He's done that. He's been doing it since he was 17 years old. He's been creating content, creating successful programming, television programming for families. Actually, his programming for all ages and families. We are all different races and nationalities have supported his platforms for years. So, you know, they are accusing him of being anti-Semitic and, you know, based on his view of Black history, and saying that Blacks are the original Hebrews. And we know, you know, that, you know, that's the truth. I mean, he's speaking facts. And, you know, I don't understand why everybody's all up in arms about it.
I mean, you understand why? Because anytime you're speaking out against white supremacy, they're going to be up in arms about that. Because that's what he's speaking about. He's not speaking against nobody's religion. He's not speaking against Judaism. You know what I'm saying? These are all our religions anyway. It all came from us anyway. So for us to be anti-Semitic, that's just a bogus argument. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
you have prominent people from the Jewish community, I'm talking about Israelites from Israel, who've already admitted that the whole anti-Semitic label is a big trick. It's a trick that they use to demonize people and to discredit people and to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Silence them and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? They always use that label to get your own people to turn on you as well. Because when Black people hear that, they get scared too. Oh, he's being anti-Semitic. They don't want nothing to do with you either.
Right.
Notice ain't too many people willing to stand next to Farrakhan, who's been, you know what I'm saying, the head anti-Semite for the last my whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't too many people willing to get next to the minister that's in the spotlight like that, high profile, like somebody like Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying? Nick Cannon was the only high profile celebrity that I recognized that was in the crowd at Farrakhan's address on the 4th of July. He did the Criterion from the Garden. You know what I'm saying? When they was panning off to the audience and all that, the only celebrity that I seen out there was Nick Cannon. You see him sitting there with his turban on and all that. You know what I'm saying? And so just to kind of contextualize this thing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because we talking about Nick Cannon, you know what I'm saying? The guy that y'all all thought was this corny guy, you know what I'm saying? The Nickelodeon kid and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of, for a minute now, I've been looking at Nick Cannon like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Ever since he threw the turban on, that kind of made nigga take a close look at Nick Cannon like, yo, something's going on here. So I start paying attention. I start paying attention to Wildin' Out from a different perspective. I'm like, yo, he's signifying out here. He throwing little codes and little symbols out there and all that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when you look at the cast, the setup of Wildin' Out, it's very diverse. Exactly. It's mainly black. It's mainly black, but he has a lot of Latinos. He has whites. He has gays. He has Asians. He has people from all different communities on the Wildin' Out set. A part of it, you know what I'm saying? White men.
I didn't know that.
And I noticed that. And I noticed that the white man too. Another slick move that I think anyway. It's my conjecture. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand how the white supremacists like to portray the black male. And so a lot of times when you're the only black male on a television show or in a movie or whatever the case may be, usually you're kind of like a derelict or you're like the butt of the jokes, and you know what I'm saying? You're not like that guy, the pretty boy that gets the girl and all that stuff. That's never you. You're the one that's kind of asexual. You don't know if you're gay or straight or what's going on with you. You don't really get the girl. You know
non-threatening.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I noticed that most of the males that are all Wildin' Out, most of the white males that are all Wildin' Out, they're kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not really the macho alpha male white males type dudes. They're all kind of in that same vein. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like Nick Cannon was kind of flipping it on him. You know what I'm saying? Right. On some real slick shit, like, you know what I mean? Because he's been, like you said, since he was a teenager, he's been behind the scenes, programming television, understanding how things work behind the scenes. Not just a talent in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, understanding how things work, understanding why things work. You know what I'm saying? So now he's a grown man with his ability to make his vision come to life on this stage. So yeah, we laughing and joking and we being funny, but at the same time, I'm a serious man. I do comedy for a living, but I'm a serious thinker. You know what I'm saying? Nick Cannon went back to school. He went back to school and got a law degree. He went and got a law degree or a degree in criminology or something like that. He just graduated from Howard. You know what I'm saying? And he's on his way to getting his degree in theology. So he went back to school to sharpen his sword and make sure that he knew what he was talking about, because he knew he was going to flex one of these days, and he knew what the repercussions was going to be. The minute that he invited Professor Griff to come on his show, he knew what time it was. He knew Dr. Carmen wasn't going to stand behind him with that.
You know what? It's funny because, you know, he started that Cannon class, you know, on that tip, but it just got where he put KRS-One on there. Then I think the last one I saw, he had Tariq Nasheed on there. And then when he got Griff, I said, oh boy, he must be ready. He must be ready. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta be on when you bringing those kind of people on your platform and be ready to defend, because he knew they were coming. He knew they were coming.
Listen, man. Professor Griff is so black, he got kicked out of Public Enemy.
Exactly.
I mean, it's Public Enemy. Public Enemy is the blackest rap group of all time. And you got kicked out for being too black. So you knew what time it was when you brought Griff on the show. And so he had his fuck you money. He had his fuck you business in order. And he had the knowledge, the information. He went back to school. Like I said, he studied. He sat at the feet of the master teachers. He sat with the Dick Gregory's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He had Dr.
That.
Joy DeGruy. He had Dr. Joy DeGruy on his show recently too. The sister that we spoke about a couple of shows ago. I think I said her name wrong too on that show. I think I pronounced her name wrong that time. But he had her on the show recently. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of people is not invited to speak on major platforms like that.
And that's what Professor Griff said. Professor Griff said as well, that he was like, when the last time you seen me on something? I don't get invited to nothing. I don't get invited to nothing. Well, I did check out the video this evening and in its entirety, and I enjoyed it. And I have a newfound respect for Nick Cannon because I'm just speaking for myself. I wouldn't say I thought he was a cornball, but from Wildin' Out perspective, I feel like that's for the kids. You know, I've watched the show, you know, seen bits and pieces of it, but I just felt like, you know, that's some kids over there, you know, and thinking that those are the youngsters just having fun and doing whatever. That's just not my thing. But after watching this tonight, I'm definitely subscribed already to the Cannon class. He's talking what I want to hear, you know, especially on that episode. But
he needs our support. He needs us to get behind him.
Gave a directive. He does. That's right. And I'm with that. But Professor Griff says to do a search on who are the Semitic people, or because I've always been confused about what that's about, and because I felt like I got my own issues to resolve with being Black. I never took the time to go and look it up because I was like, well, because I don't give a fuck about that. I'm trying to fix the issues we're facing here in America right now. You know, I don't have time to be looking up other stuff. So, but I didn't see, and I don't know, because they can move real quick, but I don't see nothing coming up where it's saying anything with regard to African people are the originals. I didn't find that, and I thought that was weird. So it was one or two things. They jumped on it real quick and got that stuff removed, but I did not see that. So I did find an article, and it said Arabs who hate Jews cannot be labeled anti-Semitic because they themselves are Semites. So if that is true about us, then how can he be an anti-Semitic or spew label anti-Semitic if he too, like these Arabs, are considered Semites ourselves? So that's the only reason that I wrote that as a note. And yes, I wrote it then, okay? And then
I told you I got mine right here.
Yeah. And then I thought it says anti-Semitism was formulated to refer specifically to the hatred of Jews. The term has never been used to refer to hatred against Arabs. That was also in the same article, I guess, to show a contrast of the, I guess, confusion about who can be considered an anti-Semite, and who.
Griff is posing that question because they make it as to that they're the only ones to lay claim to that label of Semite, when in actuality that's not what the facts support. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, people that speak Arabic language and different stuff like that qualify as Semites themselves. But the white Jewish people are the ones that feel like they have the claim to that title, and they weaponize it. Because even black Jews are not allowed to do that. Even black Jews, because you still have Ethiopian Jews in Israel today that are discriminated against right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? They live in the worst conditions in that country the same way we live in the worst conditions over here. You know what I'm saying? It's no different. So at the end of the day, all roads lead to white supremacy. That's what it's based on. It's not about the religion. They throw all that stuff in there to get us arguing back and forth and all confused about the wrong things instead of focusing on what's really going on. they practicing the same white supremacy as everybody, the Christians and the Muslims and everybody else.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're basically laying claim, false claims to a history that is not theirs, to an origin that is not theirs. If we understand that we are the first of all, everything starts from the black woman. So all existence of all mankind is birthed from the black woman. So historically, if we want to really go there, we can really go there. And our DNA, it says such. So we don't need Bibles. We got DNA.
Yes. And the other part of the conversation that I found interesting was how they talked about how barbaric and Neanderthalish the Caucasian humans have. That's what they are, because they're from the mountains of Caucasus, and that they had to fight and kill and maim to get to just for survival, but they're built that way to survive. Then that needs to be acknowledged. However, that instinct is within them, and that even though they moved from the Caucasus, they still have the instinct. Just like I could take my dog to New York, he's still a dog. It's not going to change who his makeup is or who he is. He's still a dog. Just because I took him to New York from New Jersey doesn't change that. So I thought that was very interesting as well. So, and maybe that's what really pissed them off, getting into that, in addition to claiming that.
And that's not even talking about the Jews when he's talking about that. You know what I'm saying? No. Because the Jews weren't allowed to be called white until 60, 70 years ago. They weren't even. That's what the Holocaust was about. The Holocaust wasn't about them being Jewish. It was about them being non-white. They were considered non-white. Hitler's idea was to create a master race based off of Aryan whiteness. And so he was trying to eliminate them because they were not Aryan whites, not because of their religion. You know what I'm saying? And they try to make the religion. They try to make the religion seem like it's a race.
Right.
Like it was the target. Yes.
That's right. Is that yes. Right. Exactly. And I've always felt that way. I'm like, well, you still white just because you practice or your religion is Judaism. You still a white man. As far as I'm concerned, you making it seem like you was a separate group of people, but y'all still white. Like And I had to read the book to realize that. Yeah.
And the Jews financed the majority of the slave trade. They financed the boats. They insured the slaves, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
They went and staked claim in Africa and stole our diamonds. That's why they the diamond masters, or whatever you want to call that particular thing too.
And that's not anti-Semitic to say that. These are facts. These are just facts.
Yeah.
Hey, the truth hurts, man. But I just want to say, about Nick Cannon, man. I'm putting Nick Cannon high up there, man, because he is a mainstream, high-profile celebrity who is going hard body for his people, and we don't see that often.
Exactly.
No.
I'm putting him up there with the Nipsey Hussles, with the Tupacs, with the Muhammad Alis. He's that caliber.
Mm-hmm.
He's that caliber, and we gotta get behind him. We gotta show him that he has support. That he don't need them.
That's right.
He got us.
That's right.
So he'll be fine. You know what I mean?
I read another article.
Go ahead. I'm going on and on.
Saying about how if they think they're gonna take his $1 billion wilding out, they got another thought coming. So he created that brand. I'm going, but and then I heard Diddy offered him a platform.
So it gets messy. I love how they talking. I love what Diddy's statement and all that stuff too. But there's little intricacies where you got to be able to back that shit up. You know what I mean? Because so Nick Cannon is demanding 100% ownership of Wildin' Out from Viacom. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna just give it up like that. Even though it's really not gonna work without Nick Cannon. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're gonna give him what he deserves, just like that. You know what I'm saying? We might be able to force them to do it, but they're not gonna do it just like that.
And it's a shame. As long as we shucking and jiving and clicking our heels and click clacking it's all good. But as soon as we try to speak out the truth, then they take away our livelihood.
Prime example.
And it goes all the way down to the McDonald's job, or I'm just thinking of the a lower level type of job. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, it's the same thing. So anything else on that? Because we did have some other things to cover. And
I just wanted to throw in there that you already got a lot of celebrities showing where they really stand. This is exposing a lot of people and showing where they really stand and what they really about their life. D. Wade first came out in support of Nick Cannon. Hey, Nick Cannon, keep leading us, blah, blah, blah. He tweeted something like that. And 5 minutes later, I spoke too soon. I ain't with that anti-Semitic stuff. You know what I mean? Cowards.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
That's what he said? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're in a time of revelation.
Did he think it was anti-Semitic, or somebody told him it was and he just fell for the banana in the tailpipe and went with that?
Man, well, they yanked his chain. That's what happened. They yanked his chain. His white paymasters got on the jack and said, "Hey, you supporting that anti-Semitic nigga? No, sir, boss. No, sir, boss. I ain't know nothing about that, boss.
I'm gonna go fix it right now and jump right on the computer." So, I mean, this is another part of our problem, is that we will not support, or some of us will, but not enough of us will support and get behind people that's ultimately trying to help the culture or the race. Go ahead.
I would say not all of us are going to support, but enough of us will. I'm going to say it like that. I'm optimistic. Not all of us are going to support, but enough of us will. Enough of us are waking up and getting on code.
That's right. And that is true, because every day a new person is waking up. And the other last thing I liked about how he turned hip hop into his acronym for, I think, the other book that he was promoting, Higher Infinite Power, Healing Our People. That's
dope.
Higher Infinite Power, Healing Our People. That's hip hop. Yep. And that's how we need to use that. Yep. Shout out to Professor Griff. And I got your number, bro. You shouldn't have gave it out. I will be texting you.
Shout out to
Hey, and on that show too, on that episode, Griff had quoted my man Black Dot too. He quoted Black Dot when he said they take the lowest essence of our culture and they give it the most promotion. I don't know the exact quote, but they promote it the most. They take the lowest essence of who we are. And they give it maximum exposure. I think that's what he said. They give it maximum exposure. It was a dope quote from the Black Dot. Shout out to the Black Dot. Man.
Okay, shout out to the Black Dot. So we have a few minutes. Maybe I should have looked at when we actually started.
Should be good.
Maybe like 5 minutes. And I just wanted to close. I just want to close part 3 out with some.
Smash the elements. Smash the elements.